Genesis 2 reveals, Genesis 2 details, and news that ARK Genesis Part 2 is not the end of ARK Survival Evolved. You're right kids, it's Ras Clark and welcome to your regular ARK community news. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share around, and let's get into it. So of course the big live stream happened last night, where myself and Jade Plays Games ran through the live reactions to what was being revealed at the same time as you. However, it wasn't quite what we expected. Of course we believed there was going to be a trailer revealed in this stream, but whilst there wasn't, there was a lot of juicy information revealed, and I'll break it down for you now. The first image revealed was Biome variants, something you are highly anticipating as the most voted thing you want in ARK Genesis 2. And by God did they reveal some awesome cool looking new variants, including one very important variant, and I'll get to that in just a moment. So working from left to right, we of course had the Carno, the Turtle, the Aloe, the Dilo, the Reaper, which is looking awesome, although of course we knew this was coming, but I've got to say, credit to Fuego who again made this image and has certainly made the Reaper look pretty damn impressive. Next to that you've got the Velo and above it the Snow Owl, confirming we are going to get creatures from other DLC maps into Genesis 2, giving us less reason to track these down on extinction, and I'm hoping we might get better RNG levels. If you're not aware, extinction levels are very poor and it's so hard to find a max level Velo or Snow Owl, so I'm hoping we might improve our odds on this map. In the middle we've got the Bronto, and next to it of course the very cool looking white Thyla. I'm a big fan of Thylas and so are you, as voted in my community polls. Above that of course we can see a Quetzal, and round to the right of it an Equus, the Wolf, Megatherium, but of course the big one for me, the Giga. A new variant of the Giga. Now if you don't know, X variants on Genesis Part 1 are improved in certain stats. A good example is an X Aloe having more melee than the original variant, which means this could be a game changer for PvP, with these new biome specific Gigas possibly spawning with better melee than its original counterpart. We get a little glimpse at the biome behind them, but not too much that's revealing anything worthy. And we now know these variants are going to be called Gen R, as confirmed by the devs. Moving on to the next picture, and it's great to see this one as we called it some weeks ago, as it was found in the dev kit. Go check out my video on that, link in the description. But of course the net projectile, when a normal bowler isn't doing the job, it comes in to do it for you. Using the net projectile with a harpoon, you'll be able to net larger creatures, which is seriously going to be a big game changer depending on how long you can trap dinos with this. Of course, up until now, many of you use dino gates and bear traps. With perhaps more conventional cheap traps out there, shout out to Captain Fat Dog, the king of traps. But this could soon make his job redundant depending on how long you can keep these wilds trapped. More to the point, can you trap survivors with these? And if you can, how OP is this going to be? Can you carry around trolls in a net, parading them around to show off to your mates? It could be really fun, and the big question of course is how long is this going to trap creatures? We appear to be in a mountainous peak biome, and it's great to see somebody wearing the flak armor set, meaning you can certainly wear this and not just the Tech Federation gear. Moving on to my favourite now, the Tek Surveillance Console, which reminds me of Flight of the Navigator or something out of Daft Punk, but this is going to be a huge change for PvP especially, and for role playing in PvE. The devs go on to say, secure your base in Genesis Part 2 with the remote camera security system, which I'm guessing they've got wrong as it's called the Tek Surveillance Console. Issue commands, view and communicate all from a remote location. You can even use them to spy on and communicate with your enemies, because yes, that's right, as we believe it, you're going to be able to set up cameras anywhere on the map, and as long as you own one of these, you can look through these cameras from anywhere and even talk to people through these cameras, meaning especially in PvP, if you've got a mega tribe who's got multiple bases across a map, no longer do they need to spawn from bed to bed to bed to bed when there's red in the log. They can just simply flick to their cameras, find out which base they're being hit from, and boom, let's go and defend. And of course at the same time shout at them and tell them blood is coming. What I love about this picture, it seems to be in the eye of a camera. I'm wondering whether this is the view you're going to get when you're looking through a camera. Of course, we can see a shadow mane in the background, something else you're very much anticipating. But more alarmingly, this almost ghostly figure in the background creeping up behind you. And I do wonder whether that's hinting at something. Perhaps not. But let's move on to the next one. The Voidwyrm, or as I call it, the Voidwyrm. It's been featured again, but now in its Fuego glory. The devs say the silhouette might read as a wyvern, but these mechanical sentries are nothing of the sort. Be careful when you're out exploring, the Voidwyrm does not take well to interlopers. Now what's interesting about this is the word sentries. Does this mean we aren't going to be able to tame these? Casting my mind to attack drones. I'd be very surprised though, a tech wyvern is something the community have wanted for so long now. And I'm very curious to see what is its breath attack. It seems to be some element lightning based attack, and it seems to be situated once again in this lunar biome that I once believed was going to be out in space, that perhaps you could explore the outside of the spaceship, but there's some reason suggesting it might not be the case, and I'll get to those in just a moment. Moving on to the last reveal, the jar of pitch. The devs say if you're going on a siege, you'll definitely want something that can leave an impact. The jar of pitch allows you to do just that by leaving an impact area covered in flames. Now originally I thought this was going to be a whole new catapult type weapon. Admittedly, I forgot about the ballista that of course you use to tame crabs with, and I'm wondering how different from the oil jar this is. To me it looks very similar to an oil jar, just a bit bigger, and apparently is gonna rain down stuff in flames. And let's hope turrets are able to shoot these in the air, or you're going to have a very hot fiery base. But more importantly, and I doubt this is going to be a thing, can we launch players out of this? It needs to happen at some point. Yes, a Karkinos can toss you, but why not have the ability to throw players from this structure as well? It seems to be situated in a biome we haven't seen yet, a very hot, fiery biome, that to me is somewhat reminiscent of the volcano biome in Genesis Part 1. And I do wonder what that tail is in the background. What creature does that relate to? Is it a magmasaur? It seems like the type of biome that would house a magmasaur. And if it is, how many creatures are going to be in this map? The devs have said there's a lot of creatures on this one, more so than others previously, but not everything, which it certainly needs to be. You don't want to make the other maps somewhat redundant. And then moving on to one more pic reveal that they posted after the stream, revealing the Federation suit in all its glory. If you don't know, you are going to apparently spawn with this straight away in the map, with the devs saying you'll have the ability to fly right from the off. And I'm very much expecting this to be nerfed somewhat, that perhaps you upgrade over time. We'll have to wait and see, not long left to go, but there are more Genesis 2 details to run through. Taking notes from the stream, which of course was hosted by the community manager Said, and of course co-founder Jesse, they went on to reveal some things that are definitely worth thinking about, including one we sort of knew before, but it's great to hear it confirmed, that this is going to be the biggest official map they've ever built, apparently going to be bigger than Ragnarok, which means this is going to be some serious sizable map. However, it's interesting they didn't mention Crystal Isles, which I believe is now the biggest map. I need to double check the facts, but I'm sure Crystal Isles just tips the crown. The devs also said this is going to be a lot more open, leading us to believe the split walls of Genesis Part 1 are going to be no more, and in fact they're trying to make this as open as they possibly can, with a lot more buildable areas. Missions are of course returning, whereby you will earn hexagon points once again and can transfer them from Genesis Part 1, however not immediately unofficial. I've got a video on that, link in the description, and the missions are apparently going to be story themed this time, and certainly not integral to the map. They're going to be in an outside play area that doesn't affect building anywhere on the map. You can see space. They've said you can see the ever-moving space as your ship flies through it at breakneck speeds. So it doesn't sound like you're going to be able to explore it, as the ship is constantly moving. However, we can see the Voidwyrm is in some form of space, lunar biome, and it'll be great to see how they incorporate that. They've even gone as far to say that they want a horror theme with the Rockwell's innards biome. They want you to be legitimately scared of entering this biome. I'm very excited to see how scary this is going to be. The devs all noted their favourite weapon was the Tek bow, which of course a lot of the community can't wait to try too, including myself. I do believe this is going to be the weapon to use in PvP. They've confirmed the Exomech is the RTS mode. We can finally link the two pictures together to understand the Exomech is going to have the ability to control point and click creatures from an aerial view, which could be a huge deal, with the devs saying this is going to double up as a weapon / item that seems like you're going to unlock at the end of the game. They also went on to say that they want to improve the building mechanics, which sounds great, and I'm wondering whether they've implemented any new building mechanics with Genesis Part 2. The way they were talking, it didn't sound like they were. It sounds like more something they want to do in the future, but I'm very excited to see what new building mechanics might come soon. There will be a gameplay trailer before the launch. When exactly, we don't know. We know of course they're filming it as per a video I did previously, and whilst it didn't drop yesterday as I anticipated, it's gonna happen at some point between now and June the 2nd, probably on the day as we count down to the new map launch. And then finally, they went on to say that Genesis Part 2 is going to be a bridge to ARK 2. That's right, they're going to focus on new characters, bringing back Mei Yin and Diana in some form, but are going to attempt and set up the anticipation for ARK 2, meaning I'm guessing the finale cinematic is not going to tie up ARK Survival Evolved. It's going to leave us dangling and waiting for ARK 2, which of course I did a video on yesterday, go check it out, where I believe it won't drop until 2023. So what's between now and then? Is ARK Genesis Part 2 the last map for ARK? Well, it's being confirmed by the big man. It's not the end, there are more maps coming. As said in the tweet, the team plans on supporting it with additional updates, content and bug fixes throughout 2022, leading up to ARK 2. Did I hear a new map? Yes, I hear a new map as well, called out once again in a video I did previously. Go check it out as a full rundown on what I believe is going to be the sponsored map Fjorda, made by the same team that made Valguero. I am very sure this is going to be the next mod map. However, it might not be the only mod map. There are a bunch out there that have been sponsored by Wildcard, and I will be going through all of these in great length after the Genesis 2 hype wears down. And one final thing to note, the musical score for Genesis Part 2 is available on Steam, and apparently it's free for you to use. However, when I looked into it, I could only find soundtracks to every other map apart from Gen 2. But if I do find out how you download this, I'll drop a link in the description. Thanks all for tuning in, I hope you enjoyed this. More importantly, thank you so much to everybody that turned up for the live stream last night. Blown away is an understatement of how I felt seeing so many people tune in, so a huge thank you to everybody out there. But of course, that's not it. Jade Plays Games and I will be getting together once again on the launch day, on the countdown for the last official map, Genesis Part 2, June the 2nd. I'll see you there. My name's Ross Clark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always, peace out.